Welcome, and thanks for being with us today. Your commitment to enhancing your English abilities and bettering yourself is truly valued. Many years ago, in a faraway royal land, there lived a princess called Snow White who was widely admired for both her kindness and her remarkable appearance. After losing her mother at a young age, her father remarried, and her new stepmother became the queen. Despite her royal status, the queen was extremely vain and cared deeply about being considered the most beautiful woman in the kingdom. She depended on a magical mirror that always told the truth to reassure herself about her beauty. For a long time, the mirror confirmed that the queen was the fairest woman alive. However, as Snow White grew older, the mirror eventually announced that the young princess had become more beautiful than the queen. This revelation filled the queen with intense jealousy and anger. Unable to tolerate being overshadowed, she decided to remove Snow White entirely. The queen's envy became the driving force behind everything that followed. To make her plan happen, the queen ordered a royal huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her, demanding evidence afterward. When the huntsman saw Snow White's fear and innocence, he felt sympathy and could not carry out the cruel order. Instead, he warned Snow White about the danger she was facing and encouraged her to escape. Terrified and confused, Snow White fled into the forest alone. After wandering for a long time, she collapsed from exhaustion, but was helped by woodland creatures that guided her to a tiny house hidden deep in the forest. The small home belonged to 7 dwarves who spent their days mining precious stones underground. Each dwarf had a distinctive personality, and although they were initially surprised to find Snow White inside their house, they eventually listened to her story and allowed her to stay. Snow White soon took responsibility for household tasks, preparing meals and cleaning the cottage. Her presence brought warmth, comfort, and happiness to the dwarves, who began treating her as part of their family and protected her from harm. Back at the palace, the queen once again consulted her mirror and discovered that Snow White was still alive. Furious that her first plan had failed, she decided to act personally. Using dark magic, she transformed her appearance into that of a weak and harmless old woman. She also created a cursed apple designed to place its victim into a deep sleep that closely resembled death. While the dwarves were working in the mine, the disguised queen visited their cottage. Although the forest animals attempted to warn Snow White, she trusted the elderly stranger. The queen convinced her to taste the apple, pretending it was sweet and safe. The moment Snow White bit into the fruit, she immediately collapsed and fell into an unnatural sleep. When the dwarves returned home and saw Snow White lying motionless, they were devastated and filled with grief. They pursued the queen through the mountains during a violent storm. While trying to escape, the queen lost her footing and fell from a steep cliff, bringing her cruel rule to an end. Her downfall represented the destructive nature of jealousy and pride. Unable to wake Snow White and unwilling to bury her, the dwarves placed her body inside a glass coffin decorated with flowers so they could continue to watch over her. They stayed near her, mourning her apparent death and remembering the joy she had brought into their lives. After some time passed, a prince who had previously met Snow White and developed strong feelings for her arrived in the forest. When he discovered her lying inside the glass coffin, he was overcome with sorrow. He expressed his love by gently kissing her, and this sincere act broke the curse. The poison's effect disappeared, and Snow White regained consciousness. In the end, Snow White left the forest with the prince, beginning a new and joyful life with him. The story delivers classic fairy tale lessons about the victory of kindness over cruelty, the dangers of envy and vanity, and the extraordinary strength of genuine love. If you find this video interesting and helpful, please give me a like and subscribe.